fatigue will start to kick in slowly but steadily. If we do go to map 5, it's going to be Team Secret and WINSTRIKE once again, back at it again for themselves, fighting it out, battling for possibly the win for Secret or an extension of this series for WINSTRIKE. They want to bring it to Train. They want to win it on Train as well, because as you heard from Maniac, then it might be all to play for, and WINSTRIKE might have a decent chance and might leave RJ in just a little bit of a scuffle.
No, please, not again. Oh dear, we do see WINSTRIKE winning that knife round though. That might be the start that they need, you know. This is danger zone. This is dangerous territory. I'm worried, man. I'm worried. Help! I'm scared.
You sound a little bit sarcastic. I'm not sure if you're really scared.
No, I'm not really scared, I will admit, but
I wanted you to be.
Wow.
No.
I do want to say, you know, like the knife round going to well, WINSTRIKE again. I do wonder what that's gonna create for Team Secret now, seeing as they don't start out on that CT side.
Well, as I said before in the segment with Maniac, I'm really banking on a line with the A2BP to create that pressure on towards outside, be that maneuverable factor, not just on outside and also possibly on towards Squeaky, on towards Radio, really be that factor to fear for the side of Secret, and also possibly have a player go rather aggressive on yard. Here's in the meantime, he gets one frag, will be traded out by Red Faction going through Squeaky alone, but the rest of his team currently rushed through the ramp area. Lose yet another player as they do also get another kill. And our gas is low, 9 HP, 1 bullet would do the trick, but he at least gets the bomb plant down. Brings time, of course, now also into account for the WINSTRIKE side. Yet they are scared for Secret to maybe be pushed from heaven, where they actually pushed through themselves, and apparently they both dropped. And I guess standing by from close range, the Glock could make it work, but he goes down. It's going to be Percy still on the rafters, and he wasn't checked, but he was now fragged. It's going to be eventually WINSTRIKE with the first round, of course, of this brand new map.
Indeed, and that's a solid start for them. Get that CT pistol round in, and who knows, that could be one of the many. Right now, though, that's something to start off with. And I wonder if WINSTRIKE now is going to get the same kind of streak that we saw in, well, on Mirage, where it was, of course, that 5-round win streak, I believe, going in favor for WINSTRIKE. And that would be scary once again. Okay, WINSTRIKE, they do have the CT side advantage. Always a kind of side note to make with Nuke, where I would believe, and I think you would be inclined to agree, that Nuke is one of the maps where that CT side advantage is the biggest.
Yes. At this moment in time, I would dare to say that.
Yeah, but of course, it's still not this massive advantage. It doesn't mean that you're going to win all rounds on your CT side. Anarka's fragging out a line does perhaps mean that it will already be thrown round rather quickly.
Of course, spies have been working out, so I wouldn't be too surprised as there will be some trade frags. But the big problem is they force with Khalil's, and they actually get yard control, actually get a frag as well. Prison at least able to get one in return, but he will be dropped by SMF as he will be dropping himself. Bomb being planted, 2 on 3, and without a defuse kit, this will be rather hard.
Yeah, bomb planted in front of main as well. Nickel back though, can get a frag, and indeed SMF goes down. You look
I just got an itch.
I just got an itch. It made you look really like it was
really worried. Like,
yeah,
oh
really
my god, what's happening?
No, what is this? What am I seeing?
Well, this round is a little bit weird for WINSTRIKE from my opinion, because I believe Lion got fragged first with his AUG actually at that AC unit, and now they're running out of time. They don't have the defuse kit, and Team Secret just has the timing. They peek in, and it's just 1 kill at this moment in time, but Percy, he doesn't need to peek, and he knows that. He's just waiting. In some shots, almost getting a kill on towards Lackey, but now he should be careful to not die to the bomb. He will not, and Lackey won't either. But now he might be able to go back on towards the side and pick up an M4 for himself. But he can't find it just yet. Oh, just a little bit out of reach.
So close, and yet so far. Indeed, a shame for WINSTRIKE, of course. They did just lose out against Team Secret's force. And Team Secret, in part, they're also being supported by the fact that they got the bomb plant in that initial pistol round. And now we'll have to see what they make out of the second, and how close this is going to run. If it is going to be, you know, Team Secret rather swiftly now punishing WINSTRIKE, telling them, or showing them who's boss, I should say. As Percy here quickly passes through, the flash was good. And now they can rather swiftly drop down into that ramp spot. Clear out that site. They've only got 2 to contend with them. Indeed, Synopsy takes out Nickelback. Prison, last man on site now. And he's holding it off. He's got 5-7 in his hands and perhaps a 3 Oh, that's a solid headshot though. SMF goes down. Make it a second. Okay, Krisen. Now got bomb control and a free Galil out of it. That's a pretty good deal, I'd say. But the third frag doesn't quite come out as Percy shoots him down, and bondik now is coming in from the ramp. Radifaction should be ready for this, should have heard that step as well. And indeed, he goes to the spray down, clean on point, and bondik himself goes down. Now we see the weapon upgrades coming in, and indeed, Team Secret with 3 people left alive, they take the second round.
It's going to be Secret once more being in favor after those 4 spy rounds really come in. And despite them losing the pistol every now and then, or just losing the follow-up round, they managed to bring it back time and time again. And it's really worrisome for the side of WINSTRIKE. They just don't know how to play it out cleanly. And this is now very unfortunate. They're 2-1 behind, despite winning the pistol, going on a full eco. And that means they have to slow down. They will most likely lose yet another round. And they will most likely see more money go in favor of Secret side, who are, of course, also pushing down Secret, because why wouldn't you? And now we do see Synapse maybe a little bit under fire here in the red position. We will see some bullets fly by. bondik takes out SMF. bondik actually with another frag on towards Energas. And it's going to be only Nickelback alive, and he's currently behind the silo on towards the B-bomb side. But I wouldn't really expect Team Secret to go for this side if they don't have the intel. There will be a player currently in main trying to move in. And Radifaction is going to see there won't be a player there. And Synapse actually also rushing in with the bomb, not even holding his weapon, despite them not even clearing the bomb side. Just going for it. YOLO.
It's wild, you know. They like to live on the edge. But indeed, Team Secret perhaps already feeling a bit of confidence again now that they can be pretty certain of their third round. And indeed, Nickelback gets fragged out, Percy takes him out, and with that, once again, 3 people left alive on the Team Secret side, so not too detrimental for their economy. And we'll see now if this does mean that Team Secret build a bit of a streak. We'll see once again a strong hold there. The spray down being real from the Narcas along with Synapse. Percy also coming in a little bit and taking out bondik. But still, few frag trades coming in there. Now we'll see WINSTRIKE on, I'm not going to call it a full buy, but on a decent enough buy. Got the right rifle, save for Lecky, or Lackey, even who has to make do with that MP9. But right now, oh, good flash on the Narcas. A Lion here, he could come in clutch, but he does get spotted out and tagged up by, was that a Narcas shot actually?
Yes, it's wallbang through the AC
Oh,
unit, but the problem is, he played there as well in the second round, and he was instantly taken care of. And thus, they might expect it from the side of Secret. It's not really a surprise that he might be there. And that means easy, almost frag to come in. Should have most likely been a frag, as Energas will be tagged up like to be a player moving through the smoke. And apparently, Percy can still win the fight against Nickelback. That's maybe also due to how the smoke has been angled. The molly as well might not indicate a player to move through. As now we also see Krisen falling. This might be yet another buy round for the side of WINSTRIKE failing. bondik at least gets something in return, but will be tagged up to himself quite heavily. Trying to go for that upgrade towards that AK. And how do we see a lie that should have been a double kill, but he was already jumping, and that means he goes down to Percy. He didn't expect the players to move out again. He's actually trying to put a flank in himself, and that could have been, and maybe should have been, the round for WINSTRIKE. Yet unfortunately the timing was once more off, and well, Maniac told you, Team Secret have a magical kind of timing on towards this map.
Indeed, and that really does seem to be showing right now. 3v2 and bondik and Lackey. Last 2 people standing, both on that A site. We see now Team Secret happily skipping down onto the ramp, going for that plant. They do play quite close on time though. 7 seconds is not exactly the amount of time I would like to be playing with when you still have to get that bomb plant in. Oh, Percy is ready. He takes out Lackey, relentless. And bondik is the last man standing here. He's by the door, he's going to peek in, but Percy does not tolerate it one bit. Frags him out, and that was even a 4K at the end there coming in for Percy. Absolutely solid play from him. The IGL clearly showing up when he has to.
Percy ain't got no mercy. Yes, it will be that 4-1 lead for Secret, once more forcing their opponents on towards a pistol buy. And that really slows down that CT side from WINSTRIKE, winning the knife, but losing the subsequent rounds after winning the pistol. And this is really weird, but this also really shows how strong Secret might be on towards this map. Their win rate, not actually stellar, but it might also be due to the teams they've played against, and sometimes just being read into too much. It's going to be WINSTRIKE trying to play it out with the Eagles and some other pistol upgrades. And Lecky with one dig now on towards Synapse, continuing the positive trend he's had in the previous map as well.
And indeed, that is maybe a solid start for WINSTRIKE now, although Percy does, with some delay, refrag Lackey out of there. And he can also make sure that the weapon gets tossed just a little bit further. Molotov thrown in. Spray down to make sure that there isn't someone there. And the line, he's there from a distance. Percy going for this engagement though, and that might be risky if you're facing off against someone like a Lion. You can see them also meticulously throwing those AKs back towards the lobby, making sure that no WINSTRIKE player might be able to get their hands on them.
It's going to be Team Secret trying to execute towards that A side, but of course still drop in towards the fence, which is a little bit too dangerous. They knew Bondik was either on site or in the hut once more after the molly came in, and it was an easy clear. Only Nickelback alive and 1v4. With a Deagle in armor, he might be going for a save because him and Kristen actually don't have all that much money. Of course, they have a decent loss bonus, so they shouldn't be too worried. But this round just slipping through their fingers again, having the opening frag, just not really having the pressure after. Meaning they are now 1-5 behind, and the odds ever increasing in favor of Team Secret.
Understandably so. If you look at this, they are now relentless. They only gave away the pistol round to WINSTRIKE. And I thought, you know, oh dear, WINSTRIKE get the pistol round. This might be the start that they need. But right now, Team Secret, 5-1. They are playing strongly. They are playing assertively. Right, what you want to see coming from them. And WINSTRIKE stand relatively little of a chance against that, it seems. As right now we see them once again investing all of their funds. We've got a good buy here, also supported of course by a very high loss bonus. But once again, if they do lose out here, you are going to see that the loss bonus still won't be enough to cover for that. Nickelback here, he is back and oh dear, that's a nasty engagement. He does get one frag out of it. It's a trade as Percy refrags him rather quickly.
Of course, that frag coming in due to the flashbang of Alliance. Well, once more goes on the aggression, but he will be traded out. And trades always in favor of the T side, as long as they're equal at least. It's going to be Lecky now also in towards fence, but he won't really be contested. It's Team Secret saying, well, we've probably drawn at least one player on towards the lower bomb side, meaning A, usually only defended by one player. Synapse moving in from that half position. Spots one, gets the frag on towards Grison. And the AWP, it's actually in locker, and they've heard it. As now Lion takes the frag on towards SMF, and Anarchist with the bomb still in hand will be able to refrag. The last player, Lecky, waiting in this fence area. Trying to move up, and he will be spotted out. And Anarchist with yet another frag as he drops down. 6-1. And Team Secret just too strong. Another buy round. Failing for WINSTRIKE. And RJ, it seems like you're getting more and more of a right call to come in.
Really?
Yes.
Well, so you're starting to admit that maybe it could just be leaning towards me, that I might have been right, actually. Like,
I mean, shouldn't go too wild.
No, but a little bit. We'll get there. You'll have to face it and accept it eventually. And of course, also we see those Vi.GG odds. Will it go to overtime? Most likely not. This will be a rather decisive, perhaps, Team Secret win coming in now. But, of course, I will admit I should not run ahead of things. If right now, after this terrible bye, Team Secret do make it that 7-1, and eventually they get it towards a very, very strong T-side advantage. Of course, as we earlier said, Nuke being a lightly CT-sided map, and then they go to their CT side and they played a clean game there. They finish it off rather quickly. Then, hey, I can see it. I'll be able to see it with my own eyes. Team Secret get the third map and, of course, the best-of-5 win and secure their spot tomorrow against Heretics. But I will still admit that I have seen quite the turnarounds come in. I've seen certain round streaks, so all hope is definitely not lost for WINSTRIKE. There's still a good chance that they might actually...
Well, RJ,
yes.
You wanted to see a 16-6 from Secret. Maybe you're getting it now?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they listened. I always like it when they listen.
I'm gonna mentally support you in your doubts, as of course you sometimes need that support from me, because
my support when I'm doubting myself. That's when I need you to come in clutch.
I am the spine to keep you together, to keep you moving, to keep your nervous system in a hole, because if you wouldn't have a spine, I think that would be broken quite quickly.
I don't think that would be too comfortable, to be quite honest.
You'd just be a little bit limp. As you do see now, a Lion with these scouts trying to smoke bang, yet they're already in towards Secret. Percy leading the charge, actually the IGL going to be more of an entry fragger, being supported by Anarchist on the AWP. A player in an off angle, standing by him. Percy also standing by, taking in now and getting the frag. Little damage being dealt by the friend Nickelback, but like he was a scout as well. Will get one in return of his own as Grison takes down Synopsy. Actually a favorable position right now in favor of the CT side. Yet there's a player also in dark, and that might be a little bit of a surprise on towards the Secret members. Very good peek, very good damage on towards Radifaction. And as the fire now goes out, a new one will be thrown in, but will they push through? It's going to be Anarchist holding the angles. A Lion is burning. 12 HP left, and Grison also slightly tagged up. I think he wants to go for a cheeky peek, but still the player in Shadow will not be contested.
Oh, no.
This will be the key, as there will be a nade flying in towards Rap. Lion still alive, but like he would get another frag. Going to be SMF close by, gets 2 frags, and Radifaction also turning up the heat. 7-1. We shouldn't have doubted. We are sorry.
Yeah, indeed. I was actually doubting there for a moment. When I saw Team Secret with a one-man disadvantage, I thought, oh, is a WINSTRIKE now going to win this out on a relatively meh pistol armor buy? Or I don't know if they even had armor, actually.
They had on some.
Yeah, and like, it would be, of course, very fitting because we've seen that before. Like, oh, okay, you've got a bit of a mediocre buy. You're saving up for the next round to buy. That's fair. And then you see that happening, you think, oh, wait, no, is this what you needed to win? But then in the end, we see Team Secret coming in, SMF and Radifaction really showing up clutch there, and proving themselves. Utility also well used now to completely block out a player like Nickelback. In the end, though, clearly not blocked out well enough because he can get a double kill out of that. And then we see Synopsy peeking in lobby. Nickelback goes for the 3rd kill. Radifaction on top of it as well to finish it off. See him. He's engaging. He is fighting from that blue box. Radifaction now. He knows he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. In the end, it's actually Lackey who frags him out. And that was a really quick WINSTRIKE round. You saw a complete assault of utility coming in from Team Secret on outside, but it really didn't, well, how do I put it? It really didn't mean that much because Nickelback, he was anticipating both of these players.
But like the big thing is that this round we actually saw some daring moves to come out from WINSTRIKE, some aggression. You saw a Lion actually push in towards Radio, and he with the AWP was able to cover off lobby. Another player already peeked in towards lobby. Yet Nickelback, of course, happy to have a double spray down, otherwise that CT side would be greatly dislodged. But they played it to aggression at a certain degree. Now we do see some more aggression come in, at least a trade, otherwise it might have been more map control in favor of Secret. Nickelback now standing by, waiting for the players to move in, and he could have gone for a cheeky spray, but he won't. The 4 remaining players on the Secret side, currently in Secret with Anarchist, of course, trying to hunt for a frag to get the lead. But, oh, Lackey! He won't be expecting that play. A boost to come in at the Secret hallway. Also a follow-up from Anarchist makes it in towards a 4-on-2, but Christie's still alive and will be mollied off. Goes through, gets a frag, wants to go for a second, but runs out of ammo. Now a 1v2 for Nickelback. Last round, he was clutch, but now he's still coming from that ramp position with now the bomb to be planted, the timer to start ticking, and he has only a smoke and a flashbang to work with. No defuse kit, and also no head armor. Not really thinking that would seal the deal in any case, but you never know if Anarchist picks out his pistol, but he will be taken out. Last player, Percy, in Shadow, will be spotting out a player, will be spotted out himself as well by the jump. That makes it very awkward for Nickelback. He's moving in. Pop flash to be thrown out, doesn't really do all too much. Nickelback trying to pre-fire, he gets a frag and whipped at the round. A 3-7 score at this moment in time. AWP, of course, also to be recovered as Nickelback actually picks up a defuse kit of his own. And Team Secret shouldn't really have lost this round, but it was a little bit chaotic, as we often see.
Oh, it was definitely chaotic. We'll fully admit that one too. But Nickelback there, I don't quite know what Anarchist was doing there in the end. He tried to outpeak him, I suppose, and you can see there again. Oh, well, this was right after he got the frag, actually. You see Nickelback, he's pushing then, and in the end, the pop flash also kind of doesn't really amount to anything, and Nickelback can just go for the spray down on Percy. You hate to see it, but it does
you hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate it. Fine, okay, yeah.
I love to see it. At least it's a little bit of a comeback for the team that's already behind, and they have to bring it back on their CT side, because if they don't, well, there's a very good chance that Team Secret will just close it out, and there's still a very good chance that Team Secret will close it out. Very good nade, and look at all the pressure coming down from the side of WINSTRIKE, yet they're now maybe over-aggressing, because they gave a lot of chances for Secret already setting up. Lecky also pushing through the Molly spots the player onto her side. They know he's here. They're trying to play ring around the Rosie, and Lecky almost loses his life. Still, he is surviving, as the bomb still yet to be planted, but is currently on towards the B side. And WINSTRIKE, well, they have no clue if Lecky actually standing at those boxes, going down as well as the last player, Lion. And that means we now have a 3-8 score. Lion actually having this AWP still on the ledge to be recovered for Anarchist. And you shouldn't worry, Team Secret just bounces back.
Yeah, I was actually expecting a HUD spray down to come in here. That would have been just excellent, but that didn't end up going, and it was Synopsy along with SMF who just played it out clean. And indeed, 8th round now for Team Secret, and a clear and definite first half advantage. And I suppose maybe that could be the indicator of things go in favor of Team Secret, because, you know, in the previous map, the only map that they've lost so far, they didn't have that first half advantage. Now they definitely have it, and I'd say this might be their most decisive first half just yet. We'll see that how the rest of it plays out. Synopsy's waiting here. Can feel those Deagle shots rushing by, but can spot out Krisen while he's reloading. Is anticipating someone in lobby here. Oh, but will he anticipate the second? Ondik, though, his location is already known. I believe they just noticed him when they shoulder peeked that angle into lobby.
Of course, with the smoke, they definitely know.
Yeah.
Because that's a very decent giveaway. Did you throw the smoke? No. Well, then it must be of an opponent. At least he recovers the M4. 2 M4s, 1 AWP to play with. No defuse kits, but some utility. And they're trying to bank on this A side to stay shut. Yet, the bomb currently coming in towards main might be a little bit of a bad call for Secret. Only with the first frag now, trying to equalize the numbers with the second. As it's going to be a player also from Secret to come in, and that means that Nickelback gets a frag on towards SMF. Back to equal numbers until Lion takes a frag on towards Anarchist, and Team Secret is just running in towards the WINSTRIKE members. And now we have only Percy alive in 1v3, and he goes down as well. And that's the first round for WINSTRIKE with, well, a very crazy 3v5 outcome.
Yeah, there was such a big advantage, and then it just disappears.
They just didn't dare to go towards B for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think they could have actually literally dropped down fence. There was nobody to hold it up, because Align, he sort of had an angle, but he wouldn't be able to kill 2 players.
Yeah, Align was on the site itself, I believe.
Yeah,
so
and he was mainly looking towards the A main end.
He would have had to expose himself, and then you had Nickelback coming from Secret, and the last player was, I believe, somewhere near lobby? Or he may actually...
Bondik was just in the hut.
Yeah,
he was just chilling out, trying to support the line if they would have gone for a push, and also trying to hold up that position so at least his flank was held. But this was just, I have to dare to say, a bad round by Secret.
Ooh, but yeah, indeed, you know, that B side as well, they could have just locked it down completely. You know, used the utility that they still had to make sure that there were a couple of choke points only for WINSTRIKE to come through, and then at least got on that planting, because right now, well, they had nothing. No plant.
And now also no money.
No money, and I believe maybe a tactical timeout that came in there now. And we see with that, Team Secret, as I said, they've got a definite advantage now going into the second half, but still, they could make that a very, very slight advantage if they don't play it out well enough.
Such a very weird come out so far, because I just don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why Secret went for all those 1-by-1 peaks. Like, they didn't really play as a team, which they have done so well so far. Now Synopsy, he's rushing down in towards the fence. And he's trying to make the faction. Oh my god, this is stupid.
No. Lads, that is just sloppy.
Oh, the classic Align also coming in with the AWP, gets a frag on towards Synopsy. He's going a little bit too aggressive as the players is already moving in towards Secret at this moment in time. Another flick on towards SMF as they're not able to clear him out. And they actually had mollies. They actually had Red Faction already in towards Sanitary. Lecky also standing by now, trying to play the angle from window, but he will be possibly flanked from the double doors position. Percy moving in, trying to get a frag of his own, as the timing might just be a little bit off for the WINSTRIKE members. But still, they have a player more, so a trade would still favor them. 2 players now coming from most likely the ramp position from the WINSTRIKE side. It will be Red Faction with the first frag. Also Percy now with a follow-up. And it's going to be Lecky standing by, trying to get more with Nickelback actually coming from Secret. Trying to bring it back for his team, but the time It is still so plenty as Nickelback. Oh, he's
What?
not looking to the other side.
But
the door making some noise. It's so much for a tunnel fishing. And 4-8 becomes now 9-4.
yeah, there's no way that Lackey's actually going to try this. But I do have to say, Nickelback, well, that was like, I guess the tunnel vision is the best way to describe it, because he should have known, you know, oh, there was someone in window because someone was fragged from window, and unless he really pushed through window and went onto the site. It was something that he could have anticipated for. This was definitely something that he could have actually looked for, because I was expecting him, oh, he's going to know that there's going to be someone towards window. That's where I was expecting him to go.
No,
But
that would make too much sense, RJ.
yeah, clearly.
Stop it.
How am I being so sensible, so logical? 9-4 now in favor of Team Secret. 5 rounds advantage over WINSTRIKE.
Look at this.
And yeah, these are the clutch replays.
That deserves a replay as
Yeah.
well. And then the Lion racks up 2 beautiful kills, but at this moment he should have been dead.
Yeah,
they go for a shoulder peek. Then he
But
still
this-
gets a frag against 2 players. And now Red Faction is like, oh wait, I'll sneak back towards the fence and I'll be there just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a little bit. Now we'll see, though, if Team Secret will get those double digits on their T side. So far, they've already put down a incredibly, incredibly good T side. So the question is, you know, if they're just going to continue with that. And it is looking quite like that. Nickelback here, though. Still that same good old Secret position. And they should know at this point. Oh, but no, they don't seem to know. He gets 1 frag only, though, but there is some damage dealt on the lads. Oh, and he's mollied out. He's forced out, and indeed, good molly coming in there. That does mean his death.
But they've thrown that molly at the start of the round before, and they had success with it. They were able to flush out Nickelback a little bit more cleanly, because this should have been a triple kill, possibly. It could have been. Well, now the rounds do fly by, and we see Secret still in a favorable lead. However, they now lose Synapsy, going down from 5-7 on towards the side. Red Faction with 1 frag in return, but from the back there will be Bondic, I believe, jumping through the fence himself, or just still being at the T-Fen, never being checked out by the Secret side. And now we have 9-5. WINSTRIKE still trying to stay in it, and possibly, just possibly, they will make it back to 9-6, and then with a pistol round win on the T side, it could bring it to even numbers.
Yeah, and indeed, I have to say that, well, it feels like the one time Team Secret does actually, then they do put down a really good round, but it feels like the round afterwards, they suddenly decide, oh, well, yeah, that was good, but, you know, now we're just going to try and we're just going to run in there. Oh, they do get a solid frag on Lackey there, though. That is a good start. Maybe they could actually force out this, but now, good jump down. They frag out Nickelback. That's already 2 upgraded weapons for them. And they've actually got the man advantage now. Bondic, though, comes in, can take out Percy. Oh, the trigger control is solid, but he only gets 1 frag. Narcus takes him out. Red Faction then takes out, oh no, Lion and Bondic here. The 1v1, both low HP with this nade. Yep, it does. It cleans it out. The nade there coming in clutch from Bondic takes out Anarchez, who obviously only had 7 HP left.
Oh, the spam on the defuse, but this was, again, such a chaotic round. Something we've highlighted before. Some of these rounds, they're just going back and forth, even on the previous maps as well. And eventually now WINSTRIKE comes out on top in this round, yet at the half, they're still 3 rounds behind. And RJ, you know I like my consistency.
Oh, I know you do.
And now we've had 3 maps in a row where it's been a 9-6 halftime.
Yeah.
Going back and forth. Makes me happy, you know.
It is quite consistent. I get that makes you happy, man. And I'm happy that you're happy. You're happy, I'm happy.
Aww.
But now, what WINSTRIKE might not be so happy. They've still got a 3-round deficit to work through on their T side. Well, you would say T side is less favored, is less advantageous.
Theoretically, but it might just also depend on the team. And, well, we know that Secret, at least we've heard from a expert, Maniac, who said their T side, insane. You're going to see some crazy stuff. And then WINSTRIKE, maybe also more of a T-sided team. I'm not too sure. I never know, because with WINSTRIKE, you literally never know.
Oh, you definitely don't. But we'll have to see what's going to come from it as we go into that halftime switch. I do believe that Secret has the capability and the potential to finish this out. If they have such an impressive strat book, then I'm sure there are plenty of strats in that book for the CT side as well. And I think that WINSTRIKE, whilst they might actually put in their best fight, look at the streak as well that you saw in the beginning. You know, Team Secret coming in with that 7-round win streak. If they pull that off once on the CT side, that's it. They've won the map and of course the match. So honestly, Team Secret, they just need to put down a good enough performance. They need to show themselves, and I think they can do that. I think they've actually got that capability.
Well, I'm just looking back in my booklet, and WINSTRIKE was actually able to bring it very close against Heretics on Towards Nuke themselves. 16-13 loss. And they mainly won rounds on their T side back then. Their CT side was abysmal. They won only 1 round on their CT side against the 13, of course, for Heretics to bring it back, because there was a 12-3 lead at the end of their T side. So maybe as well, WINSTRIKE will be very strong on their T side right here. Maybe they'll just streak together a few rounds. And the big thing, of course, on this map, what we've seen with the streak from Secret, they were able to control the economy. Whenever there was a buy round coming in from WINSTRIKE, there was a very big punish to come in from Secret. And thus, if the buy round goes south, they have to go to a pistol armor. And then you try to play it out as cleanly as possible. But even if you can't, it will still be most likely a 1 round. And trying to just build from there, you know?
Absolutely. And, well, I think that Team Secret, I don't think they want this to go to Train. I absolutely doubt it. You know, Train is, how do I put it? It's that kind of, that fighting ground where WINSTRIKE does actually have the advantage statistically. And I think Train could way too much play into WINSTRIKE their favor. So it is vital now for Team Secret to actually show up well enough to actually show that they've got this, that they can do this. And that they'll be starting it off well, getting the pistol round in first. And from that point forwards, just stringing the rounds together.
If this pistol round also goes in favor of WINSTRIKE, because of course they've won the first pistol round, at least they will be having a decent chance of bringing it back to even numbers. The big scary thought is, however, that if they do win the pistol, the force buy from Secret will be there. And Secret on their force buys, insane. Almost always winning against WINSTRIKE in the early stages of a half. Later on, not so much.
Julies.
Oh, Julies, baby! Burst is just making me happy. As you do see some damage being dealt, Kristen goes down to Enter, gets a sloppy from the side of WINSTRIKE, because that should have been a frag. Renefaction also with the follow-up on towards Bondek, and now the Dualies. They will go in, my son, and they're gonna get some frags.
Oh, you just love those Dualies, don't you? Oh, look at that. That's relentless. Percy solid with the Dualies, but Lackey in the meantime does get that bomb plant down. So indeed, if they are going to play it out for that force, then they will have some extra cash to play with as well. They are going to check this spot, right?
Well, sometimes Lackey gets a double frag and makes it into a 1v2 rather than a 4v1. But still, it is going to be double digits for Secret. They win the pistol. At least that's a good start for their CT side. And as you said, with the bomb plant, there will be a very decent buy to come in. That's the same we saw as well from the Secret side on their T side. And they were able to bring it back. It's those Galils, an AK, a Scout, as well as possibly a pistol upgrade for Kristen. It's quite hard to go up against.
And I do love the auto. Oh, double auto shotty. Let's go, lads. Oh, they're feeling adventurous. I like that. Let's see, though, how that's going to play out, because auto shotty, always a bit hit and miss, can be very, very deadly, very dangerous, but can also some completely, well, miss out, so to speak. Going to be seeing some close angles played out by those players. And curious to see, really, how that's going to work out, because I do believe Narcus, with that scout in hand, he is really going for that outside control. Those auto shotties will be somewhere onto the site itself. And
I think both are actually on towards Hut.
Yep,
That's
on
great.
top of Hut, yep. Oh yeah, you know, you're just holding down the choke points. Oh, good start there by Narcus. This nade, it's not money. It's not as money as I'd thought it would be. Align in the meantime takes out Narcus. SMF here heavily tagged up. That is dangerous for him indeed. He's going to have to fall back now, take up a more defensive position. And the auto shotties, sadly for these two players, are not coming in just yet. It's WINSTRIKE really banking on that outside control, and I expect... Oh, wow.
He's actually heard them. Not sneaking out, but at least he heard SMF actually moving around there. So he's probably calling. Well, there's one guy most likely towards T-spawn. Bondek is still standing there. Out of shot from range will deal some damage, but will go down to Bondek. Still, B gets squeaky. Now they're trying to force it all the way around from the Secret side. This might just be an insane call to come in. Frag now on towards the line. It's the first one. Still, of course, one less player on the Secret side as the A-Tech has now commenced. And, of course, with Bondik coming from lobby, they know there won't be any pressure there. There will be a plant. And I dare to say, possibly a save to come in from Secret because, well, SMF can't do much. He's on low HP. Percy with the UMP, not really the best weapon. And Red Faction with the auto shotty. Great on close range, yet on longer and medium range, not really the best I've heard.
Really? You're saying that a shotgun is not good when it's not close range?
Sorry, man, I have to disappoint you every now and then.
That's some wild knowledge, but indeed you make a very good point there. Oh, he does try, but in the end he doesn't succeed as Lackey frags him out. And Percy and SMF are taking those weapons with them. And, well, WINSTRIKE showing that all they need is just a force buy, and with that, they can clearly get the result. 7th round for them. And Team Secret, they are now really, really showing themselves. They are still 3 rounds ahead, but I think that WINSTRIKE can actually now prove themselves more, and that they could potentially start bringing in the rounds now, start bringing it closer and closer, and prevent Team Secret from actually pulling this off. Oh, okay.
Swag 7.
We like, okay, so we tried the auto shotty. Auto shotty didn't quite work. So we're going for the Mag 7 now because, you know, that is going to make the difference. Yeah, it makes sense. There's no arguing with it. He's absolutely right.
It's the best way to go around it, as we will see NRKS holding down the angle with the Scout rather than the AWP. And Secret once more trying to force things out. And their forces, as we said, in the start of a half are good. There will be 2 Galils, 2 AKs and a Scout on the side of WINSTRIKE. Trying to at least play the long game because they have that in the back theoretically. There's an M4 and Scout to counter it out, and apart from that, 5-7 not the best on range. UMP not really too great either, and Swag 7. I don't think you can hit a barn even if you're like 20 meters away.
Is it? Well, I mean, do you hate the Swag 7 that much?
I love it. It's a great weapon.
But it's not accurate.
It's, well, on range you can't really do too much.
No, because it's a shotgun at the end of the day.
What?
Yeah,
If it would be a slug shotgun, it would be great, as we do see a line be peeked out by NRKS. There will be a frag coming in. Percy with the spray cannot really deal any damage. NRKS also trying to drop down towards ramp, trying to hold it off, and it will be Bondik once more in Squeaky. Once more with a frag. Seeing also SMF die. It's going to be Sinapsi moving in with his Swag 7 from behind. NRKS gets 1 frag. Sinapsi, this is your time to shine. He moves in. That's 1. That's 2. And it might just be free. As the last player on side, he will be tagged up, and it won't be a frag. That could have been a clutch to come in with the Swag 7, but it won't happen. 10-8, WINSTRIKE with yet another round, and they're now only 2 behind. Soon too close to 1, as there will be a full eco to come in from Secret.
I mean, and it makes sense, right? There's no other way around this. They have to eco it out now, but good lord, look at this. You just love to see it. Lovely Mag 7 action, but then the moment that he's too far away, you can just see, you know, yep, the moment that you're not practically hugging your opponent, it doesn't deal enough damage, and it takes so long for that recover to come in, you know, for you to recover from actually shooting once.
Auto shotty would have won it.
Oh yeah, I guess it would have technically.
Nah, I don't think,
I think it would have just
on
been,
the first 2 shots
yeah.
you might have not dealt enough damage, because that's the problem with the auto shotty. You might often need 2 shots to
exactly,
come
double
in.
tap.
Well, that's what the pros do, right? Double tap.
Always double tap.
Do you always double tap even if someone's already dead?
Well, I learned that from back in my DayZ days, actually, when I used to play that game. You know DayZ, right?
Double tap a zombie.
No,
not a
zombie, not a zombie. Another player, in case.
What?
Yeah, in case they were unconscious. You didn't want to risk them, like, just waking up at one point and just taking out their weapon and spraying you down anyway. Yeah, it happened. I had that happen as well. I had also been in the other situation where I was the one waking up and some guy would be looting me, and I was just waking up and I'd see him and like.
Well, we do see Sinapsi actually with the first frag on towards Nickel. Background effects also with a follow-up. That's damage dealt, and it might just be a little bit more if they can manage to make it work.
What?
To be dinked out is met with a third frag of the round. This is quite costly on the side of WINSTRIKE. They do win, but still quite some damage being dealt. And now we see a buy round to come in from Team Secret. I'm not so sure, but I think it will be a glass cannon AWP for NRKS. And that's not really gonna favor him, but still it's an AWP. And if he does get the opening frag, there might just be a chance. And I've got my fingers crossed. The Secret will be able to at least extend their lead.
Cross those fingers.
But not really, because I have said it's
Wow.
Bamboozled once more.
I am fully bamboozled. You got me good. But let's see, though, what WINSTRIKE makes out of this. Can they get onto the equalizer, or is it going to be Team Secret now throwing it back quite fiercely? I would hope as well. And Nickelback, he starts it off well, though. Chris in the follow-up is there. Narcus from Heaven can get one frag in return, but that's not quite enough. Radifaction also with just the UMP, and the bomb plant already going down. I wonder if Team Secret is even going to try this. They should, but they might actually not.
They shouldn't. There's no real chance to actually get this going unless if you already have the opening frag, because you're running with an AWP, a UMP, and an M4 in towards most likely 3 AKs and an AWP. There's no chance of you actually winning it, theoretically, if you do see WINSTRIKE play it out correctly. They already have the position. The smokes were there as well to slow things down, so their after plant position would be most likely great. Bomb to explode, and the equalizer to be found. This Radifaction might be trying to look for an upgraded weapon. UMP probably not that great, but he will go down to Lecky in the end, and he's still pointing. And, well, pointing is very impolite, so maybe it's just a little bit of karma.
A little bit of karma, indeed. And I wonder what kind of bad karma Team Secret actually pulled off to get this kind of results. Actually, that made me think of this. When I was in Hamburg this afternoon, there was this little jar. And I think in German, you know, a tip, that, you know, to give someone a tip is actually also a tip. And it's a tip for karma. I didn't put anything in.
Oh, that's why you might lose.
Well, I don't have cash money anymore nowadays. I don't. Who doesn't use card payments nowadays?
I have cash money just in case.
Oh, but you are cash money.
Yeah, baby, make it rain as the frags do go from back to 4. As CMC also has to follow up on towards Nickelback. Actually, on a pistol armor, a favor for the side of Secret. Of course, we shouldn't just call it a pistol armor, because there also were those 2 rifles saved. The M4 and SMF, the AWP on towards Anarchas. Thus they could make it work. With Bombnik now sneaking through. Right here, seeing that the windows are closed. Won't really go for that. But Lecky's trying to dance it out. And oh, Sit-Up, see the timing, it is key! He will get an AK, he will most likely get a frag with Crimson. He always turns in time. And that's how you get equal numbers again. 3-2-3. RJ,
but how?
Did I just see you rip your hairs out?
What?
Ah!
Oh, so yeah, no, I don't understand. Like when you think, oh, this is the perfect play coming in. This is going to be Synopsy just showing up clutch. He's recovered the AK. He can just go for a clean spray down, and then Cruz is just like, oh yeah, there's someone behind us, like some sort of spider sense. Anarcha's mollied out here. His position already given away, so he's in a nasty spot. It's the 3v3. Percy here does rush through, but Narcus doesn't stand much of a chance because it's just a crossfire. There are too many people. And Percy now deep in hand. Kang of the first frag. Bomb down, upgrade to the AK. Timing is good, but what was he shooting at?
I think he was expecting the player to drop and then push from the shadow position. Now Chrisen faking the plant first, but look at the time. He really needs to commit for the plant soon. SMF sneaking up will not be able to cancel it in time, and he will actually get a kill. Now it's going to be Bombnik in 1v1, but SMF is on towards half HP. Of course, going for a tap on towards the bomb. He's not sure. Will it be double doors? Will it be window? Well, Bombnik is calling his bluff. He's not even peeking at all. Second tap to come in. Usually that indicates that you do have to peek. Bombnik once more, almost calling the bluff. But SMF with the clutch, seeing a player from the T side down and hanging on. It will be the round 4 Team Secret. 11-10. But WINSTRIKE, they have loads of money.
Loads and loads of money. You do like to see it for the WINSTRIKE lads, and that does mean that they can rebuy properly now into this 22nd round. Yes, quick maths. I can read it on the top, but I'm blind. I think I need to tell my optician to like maybe I do need stronger lenses actually.
You need to tell him that you might need. I think you just need to get your eyes tested.
Well, yeah, and then they you know, that's kind of the logical.
And he tells you that.
Yeah, if I say like, okay, I might need stronger lenses, they'll probably say like, okay, let's.
Oh, did you go to school for this?
Yeah, I know.
And then you're like, no. Well, then let's get your eyes tested. It's going to be Nickelback already moving up in the AK, trying to spray down the first player. It's going to be Anarchas falling once more. It's going to be SMF from Garage getting through his own, but it will be, of course, Nickelback to get one back. Now back to a 3-on-3, even numbers, and this should favor the side of WINSTRIKE. Yet, he might put a little bit of a side note there, as Synopsy has the frag on towards Nickelback. That, of course, Lion is on that AWP, not really as maneuverable as the rest of the players on the Team Secret side. A sloppy spray, but they spray nonetheless to connect on towards a frag. One player in heaven, that's Red Affection moving up with the AUG. He will not check it in time, but will be able to flick. And now it's a 1v2. 1 minute, the bomb and an AWP on towards the Lion.
But it is a Lion, and if there's a player that has to clutch, then it would be him. We'll see now, though, if he can pull that off. He's got the bomb in hands, indeed, as you put it. And he's deciding to go for the squeaky door instead. Snopsy's angle could be unanticipated, but he's got his eyes on main. A Lion, if he looks in the right direction, he might be able to get a nice 1D out of this. Oh, going towards vents. Of course, why would I think that he went towards A? What a silly thought of me.
Bamboozled once more by the big brains of a Lion, as he's now also soon getting a plant. There's no player standing by to instantly cancel it, and as the door goes open, the bomb goes down. And at B1, there will be Synopsy trying to chase it around. Red Affection also coming from the fence, and they're making noises. So Lion will know where they're coming from. There will be a player trying to contest his double doors position as a Lion. Oh, he's actually moving through as he's not expecting them to be there just yet. Synopsy at the door, they're now opening it up, and they should have heard the doors close. So they should know. And now a Lion is standing there. Why didn't they close the doors themselves? Because they just don't know where he is. First frag to come in, and the Lion is still surviving. Look at the time. Also now going in favor of the WINSTRIKE side. Doors go open, doors go closed. And it will be Red Affection just in time with the defuse. 12-10. And Secret make it work once more, but looking at how it played out, it might have been a lost round regardless.
They make it so close every time. So close. And that's also what you kind of... What's almost frustrating about it. You have this situation, and look at this, right? Why didn't you close the doors? Like, if you just closed the door, you'd be able to stick it, and it would have already...
At least you hear it.
Yeah, you know... And then Red Affection can luckily go for that repeat and actually frag him out, but that could have just as easily gone wrong, you know? And it's unnecessary risk that Team Secret is taking. The result is there, but they are playing it just riskier than they should.
Molly's coming by, of course, to counter off a possible rush, as Bondik always waits for this Molly to, well, eventually extinguish. And that is something a lot of teams should possibly catch upon. They could spray him down easily. He's always standing by, the same position with the smoke. On their default, if the door isn't blocked out, you can always get a frag there. Simply now with the other shot, he will get one, he will be free-fragged. Mercy, however, still on towards the hut. Will get one of his own, with Bondik now also falling to SMF. This might be the 13th round, or should be the 13th round. This line will be tagged up, we'll get a frag, but PHP and a dream.
And a dream, but clearly just a dream. 13th round for Team Secret. WINSTRIKE now 3 rounds behind once more, just like the start of this half, as a matter of fact. And the question now being, are Team Secret going to finish this out now? Is it going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds? Or is there going to be a WINSTRIKE comeback coming soon enough? Of course, right now, they've pretty much forced this out. And that does mean that they're having to deal with Deagles. They've got utility, yes. But then look at the line, you know, it doesn't have that much to work with. Anarka's here, well mollied out, has to fall back onto blue box, is just safe in the nick of time, but doesn't actually get the frag.
But where's the flashbang? Why won't they just throw the flashbang to help him out?
I have no idea. But we'll see now how they play out the rest. SMF here, dangerous position, can't see the heads, goes to the first, but it's only the first. Nade is good though. Yeah, it deals a little bit of damage, not as much as I anticipated. And does get peeked out then. Luckily, Percy and Red Affection can actually come in. I actually barely noticed that Red Affection was there.
I had no clue either.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, surprise, he's still there too. Does make this now the 2v3. Synopsy really committing to that auto shotty, by the way. Ooh. Oh, Bondik. 1, 2, 3, boop. Percy goes down. 2v2. Bondik should have heard the fence movements, but Synopsy actually comes through lobby. And Nickelback. He's got the SG, but Synopsy hot switch to that AK, and with that grabs the headshot. 14th round for Team Secret. Rapid plays now coming in, and the result is there. And you can see it on the WINSTRIKE side. They do not have a lot of money to play with. Things do not look favorable in that regard. And now, slowly but surely, this might start to be the Team Secret 16-10. I think. Knock on wood. Well, Cast the Curse doesn't exist.
No, sure. Keep on believing about that one, as we do now see, of course, the incendiaries once more to be thrown out. Nades as well. And once more, Bondik standing by with his smoke. Someone, please. Look at the demo. Spray him down. Even with AWP, you can just tag him up so easy. Even from main, you can spray him down, but nobody ever does. Another execute coming in from the side of WINSTRIKE, as this time they will have 2 over kills to come in. Percy from the CT vent will actually get a triple kill. SMF also to follow up, leaving only Lecky alive in 1v2. Standing on towards the side, he will take the frag on towards SMF, and he has a Galil. Not really the best weapon, but he actually gets the angle towards Faction. 14-11. And WINSTRIKE, they're not out of this yet.
You just know, right, that he could already see him pre-aiming that angle. He just knew that it was going to be heaven. And WINSTRIKE do get the 11th round out of that. And the problem now being for the Team Secret side that they are just going to, well, at the very best, get a pistol armor in there. You know, you see that Percy, he has a little bit of money. I don't even think pistol armor, actually. They might actually have Percy dropping a few pistols. Oh, yeah, 50-50.
Not everyone can afford everything, RJ.
No.
The world is not equal. As you do, of course, see Mac-10s also coming out from WINSTRIKE. They want to really get some momentum going for themselves. First frag to come in from Kristen with the Galil. Took some sweet time, but he eventually made it work. Mac-10 sprays coming in on towards smoke, and that's a frag from Nickelback. And there might just be a little bit of a gap closer to come in from the WINSTRIKE side of things.
We'll see that in a moment. Percy here goes down into the vents with his teammate. Bondic still in hut. Nickelback going to throw that molly onto the vents. Now we see a slower but eventual execute from WINSTRIKE onto the site. Agility is good. They're holding off their angles. Bondic going through the smoke. And with that, of course, trying to prevent any possible nasty surprises from outside. But the bomb is down. And now we can see Anarchas there. I believe having upgraded to that P250. And oh no, 5-7. Of course it's a 5-7. And he's actually going to push this out because he knows it's an AWP, so close range plays shouldn't work out. But for a Lion, they do. The bomb digs further. Percy has a deagle. He's on outside. He's a lovely M9 bayonet. But not really much more than that. He shouldn't have any dreams anymore because he's not going to pull off a 5-man ace with a deagle.
Hey, don't stop believing, man. Percy's insane. He's armor
I'm
as
just
well.
realistic.
But of course, at least that will make it a little bit easier for him to buy in the next round with full utility. Of course, could also drop an AWP on towards Anarchas because he might need one, as he's a little bit poor compared to the rest of his team. Of course, I'm not talking about real-life situations.
Easy now, don't be toxic.
No, I won't. But it will be the 2 Mac-10s still on the side of WINSTRIKE, and I would be expecting Secret to, if they would buy, go for a Kevlar vest rather than full armor, but they're just going for yet another pistol armor, not even on all the players, because SMF and Anarchas, they just need to save up a little bit more.
Oh, this is risky. This is you're letting WINSTRIKE get way too close now. And Synopsy goes down. I mean, logically, right? You don't expect Team Secret to do much more here besides perhaps the economy damage at the very best. And a Lion here shows up. It's almost going to be a clean sweep, I'd say. SMF and Percy being the last 2 people standing. And SMF now going to peek him from outside, but Lion anticipates it because Lion just knows what angles they're going to come from, knows what to expect. And with that now we see a 1v5. It's Percy, last man standing, and last man goes down as Nickelback frags him out. WINSTRIKE get the round, 13-14 scoreline. This is getting awfully, awfully close. And I'd say for a team like Secret right now, too close for comfort.
Your hands are trembling. Your teeth not really as stable as they used to be.
Oh, they always are trembling.
It's going to be quite scary for you because Secret, they are slowly losing ground, but they are now back on towards a buy round.
I don't want this to go to a 5. Like, I don't want this to go to the 5th map. I love Counter-Strike, right? I think we all do, but like,
you just want to be right for once.
I want to earn something for the community, you know?
Sure, as Bondic will lead the charge with his Mac-10, but it seems as if Secret is able to bounce back. Utility, however, in hand. Bondic with Mac-10 with a double kill. Now also upgrading to a more decent rifle in the form of an M4. Bomb, however, dropped currently at DT Vent, and SMF, he's standing by. Here's the pickup and wants to come back in. There will be a nade coming down from Percy in due time, as there might just be a little bit extra damage being dealt, and, well, there won't. And SMF still trying to buy this time, currently in that defense. They're waiting for this execute to come in. There will be a little bit of peek from Red Faction. He goes down. Lion also with a frag on towards Percy. SMF, he's like, hello guys, team.
Yeah, he doesn't have a team anymore. They're all dead. SMF can, at the very best, save this M4. The armor, the defuse kit, and the nade, and the flash. That's the best he can hope for. That bomb is going to explode. He gets an exit frag. Will he expect a second? No! Oh, well, he does, but he doesn't win the fight. And that makes it the 14-14 now. Equal odds. Maybe we'll be going to overtime. You know, we haven't seen overtime yet in the semi-finals, so that would be interesting, right?
Have we even seen overtime in the playoffs? I don't think we have.
Yeah, we have.
Really?
Yeah, Fate against Hellraiser. One overtime. Just one.
That's so little.
Oh,
It's not like
we're expected. Yeah,
if Big Academy would have been here, we had
we
like
would've
6
had-
overtimes.
Yeah, we
already.
would have had 6 by now, indeed. But, you know, well, sadly for them, they're not here. Big, they choked out in the big leagues, and Big Academy choked out in, well, also pretty big leagues, I'd say, you know? Don't want to talk down the FI.GG Legends series. There's a lot of prize money up for grabs here, so these teams better show up. And when I say that, I am looking at a team like Secret. They need 2 rounds to finish this out, but this ain't going to be it, I'm afraid. It might not even be this map right now. And I cannot fathom.
You can't look at me anymore.
No, I saw you, you cheeky bugger.
I'm
But
just so happy as well. Eventually, Secret will go down. It's going to be WINSTRIKE actually on map point, RJ.
No.
There might just be a chance. A chance will go to Train, and then everything can happen. It could still be a win in favor of WINSTRIKE. It could, of course, still be Team Secret winning, but well, with the momentum now being gained by WINSTRIKE, a reverse sweep is like the story of their dreams.
I want to get off this crazy train. This is not okay. calm
I'm
down
getting a
there,
little
buddy.
bit. I'm getting a little
You're
bit too
ruining
fat.
the floor with your chair.
No. It's just the chair making noise. I'm getting a little bit too
Is that
fat.
what you always say before?
Too much donor.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's okay. You're only in Germany ever so often. But let's see now. Team Secret, can they push this to overtime, or will it be WINSTRIKE making this the 16-14? These critical few opening frags are going to be incredibly important. We'll see now as WINSTRIKE plays it rather meticulously, slowly, going for control, gradually. But the B ramp hold is good enough. Oh, but Radefaction, he's pushed back. Molly is there, but now does he expect him to push ahead? Looks like he does. Lackey taken out, and Radefaction now could have just made the opening frag to push this to overtime. It's also Krisen, who's tagged up quite a bit. Percy, good position for a potential frag. Make it that 3v5, then don't lose it for a change.
It's almost as if you talk about is in experience from previous events, as now NRK has the frag on towards yet another player from WINSTRIKE. 5-3, as you said. And now, not to throw it away, that's the big thing, to come in. SMF still holding down this position in CT, and there might be a player coming in with the bomb even. And that will most likely be Bondik falling, indeed. A frag to come in, and Lion will get 1 in return on towards Radefaction, but still it's a 2-on-4. This should be unlosable, you dare to say, especially as Nickelback can't connect his shots, leaving only a Lion alive. He gets eventually NRK. But the bomb is still in the hands of the side of WINSTRIKE, and look at where the time has gone. Well, out the window, as we're going to see a Lion trying to force his way on the heaven, and he will go down to SMF overtime. And there is still a chance for Secret to win it, RJ. And maybe you'll be able to prove us all wrong.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Don't you think that's a good thing?
I think maybe you'll be getting a little bit too much confidence from that point onwards.
A little bit too much. There is only 1 grand final remaining.
Yeah, but RJ, I can already see you go all in on the wrong team then. You're going to say, oh, I was right with Secret yesterday, they're going to win today. And then the money's gone, no more money for the community. Of course, everything you win today, that will be for the community, but, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll be joined by none other than the legend himself. Of course, former player, currently analyst, and all-time beauty. It's Maniac.
Oh, I could get used to that introduction all the time. Could you not please just record that so I can play it in my hotel room when I wake up in the day?
I will make sure it will be your ringtone. No problem whatsoever. Going in towards overtime, did you expect this Maniac?
Absolutely not. I, to be honest, joined my position about 5 rounds ago because I thought Secret had it in the bag, and then, you know, WINSTRIKE, they hit us with their inside hit. Very fierce, fast. You could see that Secret were completely caught off guard. A couple of clutches as well. I think there was a 3v1 that was massively dropped. But now we have overtime. You guys are doing an amazing job of just joining. Just consider me like a joker that you can ask. I'm just going to look at the game, enjoy it, have a good time, and sometimes
I
maybe.
mean, if you see an opening, you know, do feel free to grab it. You know, you have some experience casting as well, of course, and I think it's always interesting to get that third hot take sometimes that I'm sure will be more than appropriate at times, depending on, you know, if Team Secret is really just going to choke this out and throw this. Because right now I'll admit, right, I'm worried. Okay, the sweaty palms are real, and
Mom spaghetti.
Oh man, I was so ready to order some food right now. I was already
yeah. Let me admit, I will be. You were gonna order sushi, weren't you?
No.
Oh,
I had a poke bowl in the day during the lunch. So
By the way,
really
Maniac,
good.
just to get a little bit back on track.
Let's do that.
You see that smoke come down from Bondik whenever they go for that A take at that squeaky door. He's so easy to be wallbanged, but no team that has actually played against WINSTRIKE has taken advantage of that. The first time I saw him play there, literally every round, they don't blow out the squeaky door, which most teams actually do. He just stands there, crouched, and then trying to line up his smoke. It's so easy to get a frag, but they never do.
Well, I mean, there's really two possibilities. You either haven't done your preparation correctly, or you do not realize as it's happening live now. But that's why you have coaches as well. That's why players should realize that he's always in that position. But we will see if they actually do act on it. Now, I'll say that though, I've seen many teams mount a huge comeback, go to overtime just to drop it then and there. Because the money is going to be reset now. I think we have to say that Secret, they suffered financially this entire side.
Yeah.
They never really had a lot of money.
No.
Very rare on the AWPs and utilities. Now they will be maxed, they'll be flushed with cash. So that might change it all.
You did see that there at the end as well, yeah. That every time, you know, that I believe it was the last 3-4 rounds, Team Secret, they were struggling. I believe they had to call 2 ecos in those last rounds as well. And even when they could buy, it still wasn't ideal. So that will definitely be something, well, potentially helpful for both teams. But Team Secret, they are starting off on that CT side as well, of course, because that is the side that they were on as the second half ended. And I do think that's also an advantage to keep in mind. That might actually be a bit of a threat for WINSTRIKE.
Well, one big thing is that we highlighted before, Anarchist not really showing up to his potential, which he normally brings to the table for his team. Also on towards this map, only 15 frags on towards 23 deaths. From a main opper, one of your linchpins to get rounds in your favor, that's way too little. At least now there will be some outside control. The smoke's not really covering from the side of WINSTRIKE yet. Anarchist, he doesn't really dare to peek in. And now we do wait for the real execute to come in, but we already see the push to go towards B. Red Faction is standing by, but they lose Percy, that already the opener in favor of the WINSTRIKE team. The nade will go in towards Red Faction as well, but will not deal all too much damage. But the bomb is already being planted. A 4-on-4 after plant, with more utility still to be spent by the WINSTRIKE side. 3 flashes to work with.
And let's see now, it's equal fighting grounds, 4v4. Lackey here could come in clutch if they do show up. Oh, indeed, we see it happening, but this is a rather immediate refrag. SMF takes him out, and it's now the 2v3. Bomb plant is already down, though. Fuse being faked. Krizen here gets a critical fight, but he's now the last player standing. Takes out Anarchist as well, but then SMF shows up, but does he have time?
Oh yes, he does have the kit, of course, because it's overtime. But the scary thing in this round, it's not to bash him, but Anarchist just didn't know what angle to hold. First he looked at the sanitary room. That was a good call, there was a player coming from there. But then he figures, oh, I might also use your utility, then look towards window, then go for this, and it's just a little bit too iffy. It's so hard to focus, apparently. And, well, with him and Synapsy struggling, it seems as if the rest of the team also not really showing up, or at least the rest of the team is showing up, but they do miss a certain pressure that they normally have, and that's that early aggression, or at least the early frag pressure they normally bring to the table.
And I believe with that now, we could be seeing Team Secret. They could be getting closer now. I do want to see them now. If they pull off this 3-round streak on their CT side, then it's almost a given, I think, going on to the T side. There it is, only that one round that they need. But still, I am uncertain. I am filled with doubt. And I want to see them show up now, because right now I'm still not believing too much. And I don't know, Maniac, what are you feeling like? Feel free to throw in a cast as well if you're feeling very adventurous.
I mean, once more, we have WINSTRIKE really playing the clock, right? So they use the utility at the beginning. They're just hoping for Lion to find a kill. He's right now scanning, going out of door, but Synapsy's got the drop on him. That's a 5v4 now. A minute to play with, and Secret, they're holding all the cards.
And that's the pressure that you might have wanted to see from WINSTRIKE, at least trying to open up a kill, but there's no support. There's nobody walking with a line holding down those angles, which he can't check. With the AWP, of course, flicking around makes it a little bit harder, as Red Faction just plays the ramp position a little bit more carefully. Flashbangs will be thrown in, more utility being expended, only one molly and flash remaining, and of course a smoke. Red Faction goes for the aggression, should have just waited down on towards ramp, because of course, as Maniac said, time dwindling down. Playing against themselves, but as Prison gets a frag onto Synopsy, again not being able to convert the spray. This might just be a round in return for WINSTRIKE.
Oh, and you hate to see it. It's so clear, and it's these advantages that Team Secret is just completely wasting. Lackey, Bondik now, and they both just get the frags. MF goes down as the last, and WINSTRIKE now gets that 16th round. And this was vital here. I mean, I can see.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
That one's gonna hurt, honestly. And not to bash him, because Red Faction has been doing a great job ramp, but here the risks he takes is absolutely not justified. You're 5v4, you have all the information. As you were pointing out, you just drop down, you play the crossfire with your teammate, your backup is already down there. There is absolutely no need to fight the way he did. So unfortunately, the domino effect happened, and WINSTRIKE make it to 16 if you're a Secret fan. But the beginning of the round was good. They did manage to hold at the first begin, but then you have to convert these situations.
And the big problem as well was that Red Faction, he couldn't be helped from, of course, the help position, because there was actually Molly there, so no teammate could actually come in. Synopsy will dodge the flash, will get the first frag as well, but he will be flashed out. Trying to reload as Percy gets another frag of his own. This will fall. It's going to be a trade fest. Actually, Lackey once more stepping up for his team. He's been clutching this series so far. For every map they have won, they're doing really well, and especially Lackey stepping up. This will most likely be yet another round for WINSTRIKE in this last round of the first half of overtime. 17-16, and Secret, they're struggling. They get the opening frags, but they just don't know how to convert it towards a round. Red Faction almost being flashed out. Molly now also towards his feet. He will die as well. Easy trade to come in from a line, and that's a decent T-side half for WINSTRIKE.
And I mean, hey, deserved there, of course. You know, WINSTRIKE, especially those last two rounds, they played it out pretty well, combined with Team Secret not playing it out so well. You know, I look at Red Faction in the round before this one, and this is just, yeah, messy. I think is the best way to describe it. You see Synopsy here, then he gets slashed out, gets a good frag to start it off with, but then the rest really, even they had a two-man advantage for a second there, but then Nickelback and Lackey just show up and they completely turn it around.
Yeah, the spacing was quite good from WINSTRIKE, though. The trading were on point. I think the utilities as well. And that's the mark of a good execute. If you can actually lose your first wave of attack, but still take the bomb side, means that your utilities are well used and that the spacing is correct. So good job. This last round, I think, was all about WINSTRIKE having a very good execute. I do agree with you. Their 16th was Secret dropping the ball, and now, my friends, we are looking down the barrel of the fifth map. It is 17-16. Secret, if you're just joining us, were at some point in the game leading 14-10 on the CT side of Nuke. They had everything. They had the house, the dog, they had the lovely partner, significant other, and suddenly things just went wrong.
A big problem in that round as well. As you said, WINSTRIKE very good execute. There was a second wave of flashes moving in. And that really hurt Synopsy. He was moving in, at least dodged the first flashes as he was standing anti-flash. And then he figures, oh, I've just won the first fight, the rest of the players will soon come. But there was still a player on the T roof throwing in yet another flash. And that meant that Team Secret, well, they weren't able to still commit for those sprays. They weren't able to actually win those fights. And eventually now we have a 16 rounds for Secret, 17 for the side of WINSTRIKE. Going back to that CT side A. Side A have played a long time ago. They only had 6 rounds there. But now they only need 2.
And it's risky. This is risky business now. It's, as we said before, you know, it should have been the best or the most solid bet for Team Secret to actually get it now, get this as their third map and finish it out. But whilst it was definitely looking that way right now, it most certainly is looking towards that fifth map. And indeed, Lackey, hold is good enough, takes out Synopsy at the very least. But he does have to deal, or well, take quite a lot of damage for that. Red Faction peeks in, can frag out the line. And Bondik here, he's standing at the ready, but no one's really going to go via Hut. They're all pushing Squeaky Door, and oh, this could be vital. He spots one, Trigger Discipline is good enough, and that leads to 2 frags. And Arcus re-peeking. But still, 2v2, and now Anarchus, he gets called out by Lackey there. Percy can commit to that bomb plant now. That's at least something that Team Secret has going for them. But now Nickelback is close again, and every time these battles are being fought out, it is so close it could all turn at the drop of a dime. But now the bomb is sticking further, and it's all going to come down to Nickelback alone, well, along with Blackie.
Nickelback still had an incendiary and a smoke as well. Will he be using that to at least draw the pressure from Team Secret? Lucky not able to spot one player actually going for the Ninja, just about to make it, as Lucky says, well, I'll just go for it as well. They will never expect me to hold this. And he will, but he will go down by just one P250 shot from Anarchast. Back to even numbers, back to 17-17, and Secret at least has now momentum on their T side. And Maniac, you've been in overtime situations. How important is it for, of course, Secret being down going in towards this half to win the first round?
It's a huge, huge round, and it has Redifaction written all over it. He was the man of the hour for Secret. We see here Lucky starting off well, but then the timing found by Redifaction was insane.
Redifaction, the Norwegian powerhouse, making it work once more, but of course we have overtime. So we have buys for days. Aligned as the offer will just be a little bit low on economy. He'll just be able to buy something or at least get a drop from one of his teammates in the next round. But it's going to be a slow start so far. Team Secret, of course, having 4 AKs and an AWP towards Anarchast. He stepped up in the previous round as will be Lackey, actually pushing to perfection. Silmsy not expecting that angle, and now we have a 5-4 WINSTRIKE. Yet another chance to win a round and get towards map point for the first time. As Redifaction wants to force his way through Secret Flashback. This should be the frag, indeed it will be. In defense there will be a player as well, but they're not expecting it. They're pre-firing, but they're not checking, they're not holding. Lackey moving in, gets one, gets two! It's going to be Percy with one refrag, but that brings it in towards a 2-on-3 situation. A player extra on the WINSTRIKE side, at least to spread things out, but there's nobody actually holding off the A side actively, despite them knowing they don't have that fence control. They're banking the retake to come in perfection as Percy goes for the ball wing, but will just be slightly missing on towards Nickelback.
Slightly missing indeed, and SMF, Percy, it's all down to them. They have to, at the very least, force this to that 18th round, and it's now that they potentially have their best chances. Only a one-man disadvantage. They need to get that one frag, turn it around, and now audio cues are there. 25 seconds. Smoke is good to get them inside, and indeed, Percy takes out Nickelback, but now a Lion here. He could potentially go through the smoke, but indeed, oh, this is close! Oh, that is so lucky! Percy, you've only got 4 HP left, buddy. Just play it safe now, and indeed he will. He's going to go all the way around to that squeaky spot. The pressure is on SMF to make sure that there's no defuse coming in there. Play your time. Play the fact that it's... Oh, a Lion. He takes out Percy. Good molly here. That could come in clutch if they don't push him too hard. And indeed, the pre-fire, but a Lion with that deagle. And indeed, the molly is gone. The time is there. They can defuse WINSTRIKE at the 18th round. And with how it's looking right now, oh, this could become the 19th round for WINSTRIKE in a moment.
I'm too old for this. I'm way too old for this. I'll be honest with you. What a crazy round. And we could see from the get-go WINSTRIKE imprinting the rhythm, pushing with that pincer move towards hole, and then being so fast on the rotation. I don't even know how Secret made it actually to a viable 2v2. It felt like WINSTRIKE had their number figured out all the way. They had all the numbers in the right places, but still Secret with a good fight, a potential 2 versus 2, but it wasn't meant to be for SMF. Are we going to go to map 5? Or are we going to go overtime?
We are. No, well, no, overtime, actually. Overtime.
Most likely a second overtime, and then I don't know what it will be in the end. It all depends on the opening frag. It will be aggression from Alliance. I think they need to bring it, and there will be the aggression. Anarchast going down. That's a key player, usually for Secret. More pressure to come down, Lucky again with an opening frag up towards Synapsy as well. 4-3, there will be utility thrown out, but they just trade mollies, no problem whatsoever, and thus they hold down the angle towards lobby. Redifaction also going down. 4-on-2 situation in Nickelback. He's still in main, standing by. Headshot angle to be held, and that should be a kill towards SMF. Only Percy alive. The IGL. He has been strong, almost a 30 bomb for himself, but well, if he still loses the round, what does it matter?
Yeah, I would no longer say we're going to be on to second overtime. And indeed, WINSTRIKE, they get the 19th round. After 1 overtime, they managed to battle it out and get the map win. And that means that we are going to see the 5th map as well. That means that the excitement is real, that now in Train, this is going to be all battled out, and I'm interested to see how that is going to be planned out, because right now, I think we've all seen a performance here from WINSTRIKE that we may not have anticipated.